The following is fact number 5 from my article entitled "The Facts Speak for Themselves." In the months leading up to 9/11, there was an unprecedented amount of warnings that Al Qaeda was about to conduct an attack. So many that CIA Director George Tenet was said to be running around with his quote, hair on fire, end quote, and so many that a lot were not taken seriously, quote, because of warning fatigue arising from too many terror warnings, end quote. One of those warnings came in the form of a presidential daily briefing entitled, quote, Bin Laden determined to strike in U.S., end quote, that was initially hidden by the White House. Another came on July 10, 2001, that spoke of an, quote, imminent threat, end quote, that was completely omitted from the 9/11 report and then lied about after it became public knowledge. Condi even had the audacity to ask, quote, does anybody really believe that somebody would have walked into my office and said, oh, by the way, there's a chance of a major attack against the United States, and I would have said, well, I'm not really interested in that information, end quote. Cheney said that his, quote, Democratic friends in Congress need to be very cautious not to seek political advantage by making incendiary suggestions, as were made by some today, that the White House had advance information that would have prevented the tragic attacks of 9/11, end quote. That is the end of fact number 5. I don't know about you, but I remember well how many times we were told that no one in our government could possibly conceive of what happened, that no one had any idea it could take place. It is a simple lie to prove, and because of that, I think the warnings are valuable information. It may open up people's minds to other information. Former New York Times reporter Phil Sheenan, who authored the book The Commission, wrote an article entitled, They Knew But Did Nothing. If elements within our government knew about the attacks, can you imagine what they could do to ensure their success? In other words, it's possible they knew and did something as opposed to nothing.